recently we've been asked by a client who's looking to buy properties at auction whether they should focus just on the local auctions or if there's potentially any benefit in looking at national auctions. And there are reasons why you'd maybe look at both, which we can kind of touch on in a second, but let's look at kind of both individually. So local auctions, you'll tend to find obviously more properties in a particular area. So for example, if you're based in Manchester and you're just wanting Manchester properties, you're going to get a lot more potentials with your local auction houses. So your likes of your Edward Mellors, Pugh Auctions, those sort of local regional auction houses that cover that area, Auction House Northwest as well. If you're looking at more general type properties and you're just looking to try and find bargain discounts, so you don't really fuss really in the location, the postcode, maybe even the type of property, you just wanted to buy a property that's potentially discounted or that has some, I suppose, difference to it, why it's going to be a much better property potential than a local auction. National auctions can be a very good place as well, because where the local auctions have a lot of local competition, a lot of people are going to be doing viewings, buying those types of houses, national auctions will be selling properties typically across the country on behalf of corporate sales, repossessions, sometimes government sales for properties or buildings, and very often a lot of companies that are selling properties that they will buy bulk and they will sell off. So they'll buy a portfolio and they'll sell off individual properties as lots. They'll go to national auction houses because it's very simple for them. Now the benefit for you as a buyer is that very often those types of properties that are coming up in your local area will be quite few and far between, and they can get very often missed from other local buyers. So they might not spot it on Rightmove, or they might not spot it on doing a drive-by because it's not as marketed as heavily as some of the local auction houses are. And it's also very difficult sometimes to kind of buy those properties from a location perspective. Not everybody wants to bid what they call by proxy in terms of not being in the room, so via online or via telephone. They usually want to go down to those particular auction houses. And if you're based in, let's say, Manchester, or the auction houses in London that's selling a property in Manchester, some people don't want to kind of go down there, and that is good for you as a buyer because it restricts some of the market. Also, buyers based, let's say, down in London that are wanting to potentially buy up north, they'll have quite tight targeted criteria on what they're looking for. They won't necessarily buy a property that's a renovation project because they won't know the local area as much. They might not have the contacts to do the refurbishments. So you're reducing the potential demand, really, in terms of potential buyers that are interested in those properties. So national auctions can be good to find the odd outlier, to find the odd kind of potential bargain property that's being sold in your local area. Local auctions are better if you want more potential stock to go at. So if you're looking to buy property regularly, if you're looking to do a number of property deals either on a monthly basis or throughout a year, you'll probably be hard pressed to just do that with focusing on the odd one or two nationals. Local auctions, you can get more potential stock to go at. Now there's one website that I would recommend looking at. It's a paid subscription, and there's a website called EI Group that shows you auction listings across the country, and that's great if you're just focusing on auction properties. That's a great website so that you can get all of the listings without potentially missing it. You can look at all of the previous sold prices or historic listings for those auction sales as well. So if auction's your focus, it's worth having a look at the EI Group subscription. It's worth having a look at those types of services because they'll give you access to potentially more properties than you would do if you were just using the likes of Rightmove and Zoopla. You might miss the odd one or two properties. So whether you should look at local auctions or national auctions, it's worth considering both. They both have their own kind of benefits and different types of properties. There may be good potentials in there, but this is just worth considering really the types of properties you'll tend to find either with your local auctions or your